This commenter asks a really tough question about what exactly a crush is supposed to be and about what they want their relationship with their friend to look like. So today I'm here with 6 signs to help you to be able to tell if it's a crush or if it's something else. First, let's define what a crush is. A crush typically involves intense romantic attraction. It's the fluttering in your stomach, especially when they show affection towards you. It's daydreaming about romantic scenarios. It's a longing to be closer to someone in a romantic sort of way. But what if you really like someone, just not in a romantic kind of way? Let's talk about squishes. A squish is a strong platonic admiration. It's that feeling of wanting to be close to someone, to be their friend, to share experiences with them, and to deeply connect with them. To grow a deep connection with them, but without romantic or sexual desires. A stronger, more exclusive type of this attraction is called queer platonic attraction. Queer platonic relationships, often shortened to QPRs, are a special kind of bond that goes well beyond the social restraints of best friends. They're a partnership, a committed, intimate, and non-romantic relationship between people. QPRs can involve people who identify as asexual, aromantic, or who do have sexual or romantic feelings. They can also have more structure, norms, validations, and status than any close relationship would, and can even display some of the characteristics often associated with romantic relationships. But what if your feelings don't quite fit into just the crush or squish boxes? What if it goes somewhere in between? There's something called a waivership that you could explore. A waivership describes a relationship with fluidity of attraction, where your feelings might fluctuate or bend between different types of attraction. It's totally normal to have mixed or evolving feelings. So how can you tell what you're experiencing? Here are some key indicators for you. Number 1 is your comfort level. Do you find it easy to talk to them about anything? Like you can trust them and be completely open with them? For a lot of people, it can be harder to talk to their crush than to someone they like platonically. Also, many people try to impress a crush or exaggerate attributes about themselves. But with a squish, it's more likely that you recognize you want that relationship built on a more honest connection and will be more at ease being yourself around them. You can openly joke with them more as well, while not being, overly concerned that they might think that you're trying too hard, or many of the other worries that may come with a crush. Simply put, you can be yourself better. Number 2 is that you value their opinion. If it's a squish, you probably seek out their opinion on things that you have questions about or issues that you're dealing with in your daily life. You're more likely to seek out their advice and probably more likely to follow their advice than you would to anyone else's. With someone you have a crush on, though, and you haven't started a romantic relationship with yet, most people are building up to that and won't ask for opinions on their own life choices until that relationship's already been formed. Number 3 is common views. When you have a romantic crush on someone, you idealize them to the point that they can do no wrong. While this can also happen with a squish to an extent, you probably will find that you're going to agree with pretty much anything they say or do because you already have common views with them. You probably wouldn't have developed a platonic crush on them in the first place if you didn't have a lot in common. So, in a way, you came by this very honestly. While romantic crushes might include some common interests and views too, usually people idealize a type, but the commonalities are much deeper and more specific with a squish. Number 4 is what you think about when you think about them. If you're daydreaming about romantic scenarios like holding hands or going on dates, it's likely a crush. But if you're imagining deep conversations, shared hobbies, and bonding over activities that interest both of you together, that might be a squish. Number 5 is physical attraction versus emotional connection. Crushes often involve a strong physical attraction, while squishes are more about an emotional connection and shared interests. However, you should keep in mind that some physical attractions can stem from sensual attractions. For instance, you might find that you like to cuddle with a friend or hold their hand. Maybe, even though this particular commenter said that they didn't, someone else watching might even want kissing involved, but without there to be a romantic attachment. But if that is the case, it's likely that it'll take longer for the physical closeness to feel comfortable. Romantic couples likely will do these things sooner than queer platonic partners, if those desires develop for the both of you at all. That's another place where a waivership or another kind of relationship like queer platonic might be a better lens. Number 6 is desire for intimacy versus closeness. If you find yourself wanting romantic intimacy, such as sharing romantic moments and going on romantic dates with that specific person in mind as the person that you want sitting across that candlelit dinner table from you, that's probably a crush. However, if you just want to be close and share experiences and connect on an emotional level without that romantic component, that's a squish. Another part of this question by the commenter is that they thought they might be Aroace, but aren't really sure. Something you can do to help figure that out is look back on your patterns when you thought you had a crush in the past. Did it pass the check that I talked about in this video? Or was it more along the lines of a squish? Looking at your past patterns and experiences is really important in understanding your romantic orientation. And as far as figuring out if you're ace, I have a similar video discussing 6 signs to help you figure out that part of yourself too. For those who do identify as Aroace, it's important to remember that it's entirely possible to experience varying degrees of attraction. You might have romantic or aesthetic attractions without the desire for a romantic or sexual relationship. This is where the idea of a waivership or a queer platonic relationship becomes particularly useful. Navigating your feelings can be very complex, but it's okay to have mixed or evolving emotions. Whether you're experiencing a crush, a squish, or looking for something else, the key is to acknowledge your feelings and respect your own boundaries and those of others. And remember, just like with our own identities, labels are there to help, but they aren't a diagnosis. If you don't want to put a label on what you have with someone, that's perfectly fine. Thanks for watching, and thank you to the original commenter for the question. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Aro and Ace content. Have you been in a similar situation? How did you navigate that uncertainty? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Your stories help us all learn and grow together.